everyone. My name is Jocelyn Weber-Stoker, and I currently work in South Korea. I'm a university instructor here. I teach undergrads English courses. We do conversation English, which is kind of just basic back and forth communication about, everyday things. And then there's a speaking course that is about more public speaking or giving presentations in a kind of business setting. And it's a great job. I love it. The best part, I think, is that we're given a lot of autonomy. The staff just says, here's the textbook, and there's a standardized listening test that the students have to be prepared for. So we do have to cover the required parts of the textbook, but how we do that and what we do is completely up to us. It's really nice to be kind of given the independence and just trusted to do the best job we can. And it's really fun because we can come up with a lot of new ideas and kind of take each class and see what it needs. And we don't really feel like tied down to a certain way of doing things. And who influenced me greatest? This is a hard question. I'm going to have to say my mom and my dad. Both of them, of course, had huge influences on my life. My mom was the main worker of our house. My dad was a high school teacher growing up, so my mom kind of made the money and did more of the long hours of working, and my dad was kind of the after school care and, during the summers taking care of us. So I learned a lot from my mom just in seeing her. She didn't really want to do that, but she saw that it needed to happen and that my dad was doing a good job with us at home, and she just kind of said, well, this is what's going to happen. She just kind of has always shown me how to take any situation and make it work, that you have the power in every situation to find a solution and to find a way to be happy. And then my dad, obviously, he was just a really influential person. I remember as a child, even people randomly in the grocery store coming up to me saying, oh, you're Mr. Weber's daughter. Wow, tell him I said hi. He was so amazing. He changed my life. And I was such a schmuck until I had him in football, and he just turned my life around. And so many different people. This has happened so many times, and he's gotten, on the news for Star Awards and Coaches Hall of Fame, and he's just really affected a lot of people, but he's a really kind of quiet, humble sort of guy. He just has this strength of personality where he kind of inspires people to do their own thing, but be great in their own way. And watching him work and I went to high school where he was my teacher, seeing the way that he took the guys that were kind of troublemakers and had them in his honors biology class, and by the end of the class they were kind of doing great. It was really neat to see that in action. It's partly why I decided I wanted to become a teacher. And the results of my personality test, well, I was not surprised at all. Let me click over to it. I had a huge score of extroversion, 98 percentile extroversion, and 93% intellect, and 91% agreeableness. I've always kind of been my mom says natural leader. I love to tell people what to do is kind of the way that I think of it, which is also probably another reason why I became a teacher. I love to be in charge, and I love talking, not shy, I love going to a party and saying hi to everybody, and I also have an ability, I think, where I can see what people need and kind of interact with them in the way that they need, which I think helps make me a good teacher, especially in Korea, where a lot of the students, it's not the same culture, and a lot of the students have a lot of trouble speaking in class. They're used to this classroom style where they just sit and take notes and they don't ask questions, and it's a very different sort of educational system here. So when they get into a speaking class where I'm expecting them to ask questions and, participate in these activities, they're often just dumbstruck and they don't know at all what to do. It makes them really uncomfortable. So being able to navigate that is really important in this particular area of teaching, especially, I think. But yeah, so I was not surprised at all. And the leadership styles that I chose were the path goal leadership style. I think this really applies especially because you have to really apply each style of leadership that you choose based on the group and the task. I think you really have to be flexible in adapting to your students' needs. And also the democratic, of course, this is kind of more of an ideal situation when I have a more advanced class and the students can really kind of be involved in choosing how they want to do their presentations or what would make good questions for their speaking tests. Then I like to kind of give them more power because I feel it makes them more emotionally invested in the class, and that's really what I want. I want the students to be learning because they want to be there, not because I'm forcing them to. So I chose those two. All right, I'm at 5 minutes. Thanks, guys.